Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest frustrations in trading, getting completely faked out by what looks like a perfect signal. We're going to move past those single, unreliable indicators and build a smarter, more effective custom setup that actually gives you a real edge. So, let's dive right in. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You get this crystal clear buy signal from your favorite indicator, you jump into a trade feeling great, and then, bam, the market just immediately goes the other way. Ugh, it's just a gut-wrenching feeling, and today we are going to break down exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how to stop it. So the root of the problem is something I like to call the single indicator trap. It's this idea that one single tool can tell you the entire story of the market. But the reality is, relying on just one source of information, well, it often leads to incomplete decisions and, you guessed it, some pretty costly mistakes. Now, let's talk about a really common mistake: indicator redundancy. You might think, hey, if I add more indicators, my analysis will be stronger, right? But if you stack, say, 3 different momentum indicators, like an RSI, a MACD, and a stochastic, you're not actually getting 3 unique perspectives. You're just getting the same message repeated 3 times. It's basically an echo chamber for your chart. And this is where it gets really dangerous. When all your indicators are flashing green, it creates this powerful illusion of certainty. You start to believe a trend is way stronger than it actually is, and that can fool you into taking on way too much risk. So the key takeaway here is this: more is not always better. It's about having the right information, not just the most information. So how do we fix this? How do we escape that trap? Well, we stop hiring a crowd of yes men and we start building a team of specialists. Let's really dig into this idea of an indicator team, where every single tool has its own specific complementary job, giving you a much clearer, more robust view of the market. You see, the real secret is understanding that indicators fall into different categories. You've got your momentum indicators, which tell us the speed of price changes. Then you've got trend-following indicators that show us the market's direction. And finally, volatility indicators that measure the size of the market swings. The goal is to pick one specialist from each of these categories. And this table here, it lays it all out perfectly. To build a balanced system, you don't pick 3 from the momentum column. No way. Instead, you create a team. Maybe you grab an RSI from momentum, an ADX from trend, and Bollinger Bands from volatility. This setup makes sure you're getting a multifaceted view. The bottom line is, your tools should debate each other, not just blindly agree. All right, enough theory. Let's get practical. Let's break down exactly how you can build and use your very own custom indicator team. This isn't just talk. It's about creating a repeatable process for finding those high probability trades, whether you're looking at Bitcoin, gold, or anything in between. So it really boils down to this simple 3-step blueprint. First, you select your team, one indicator from each of those key categories we just talked about. Second, and trust me, this is the hardest part for most people, you have to practice patience. You wait for confluence, that perfect moment when all your indicators align and give you a unified signal. Don't jump the gun. And third, always, and I mean always, plan your trade, your entry, your stop loss, and your target before you risk a single dollar. Okay, let's see how this all works in the real world. We're going to pull up a chart and walk through exactly how a well-chosen indicator team can help us read the market with so much more clarity and confidence. So for this example, our team is going to be the RSI for momentum, the ADX to check the trend strength, and Bollinger Bands to measure volatility. Remember, each one is giving us a unique piece of the puzzle, and we need all 3 to see the whole picture. Okay, so check this out. We can see the ADX is up above 30 and it's rising. Our trend indicator is basically screaming that a strong trend is in play. At the exact same time, the RSI is confirming that momentum is strong in that same direction. That alignment, right there, from different categories, that is what we call confluence, and that's our green light. But now, look what happens. The ADX starts to flatten out and turn down. This is an early warning sign that the trend is losing gas. And look, our volatility indicator, the Bollinger Bands, confirms it. The price fails to push past that outer band and starts to pull back. See? One indicator alone might not be that convincing, but when the whole team speaks up, that's a powerful signal to be careful or maybe even take some profits. And this right here is why the team approach is a total game changer. When the ADX drops below 30, it's telling us the market isn't really trending anymore. It's just moving sideways. So our strategy has to adapt.
The EDX kind of takes a backseat, and now we rely on our momentum and volatility specialists, the RSI and Bollinger Bands, to help us spot potential turning points at the top and bottom of that range.
So, we've seen how this system can help us read the market and adapt our strategy. It's pretty powerful, right? But having the perfect setup, that's only half the battle. The other half of the equation, well, that's you. Without discipline and rock-solid risk management, even the best indicator combo in the world is going to fail. This is where most traders really slip up. Okay, listen up because these rules are absolutely non-negotiable. First, you always know where your exit is if the trade goes south, before you even think about clicking buy. Second, manage your position size. No single trade should ever be able to wreck your account. And critically, test everything in a demo account first. Build confidence in your system without risking a dime before you go live. You know, I love this quote because it just gets right to the heart of it. We are not looking for an echo chamber. We want a healthy debate between our indicators. Real success comes from having the patience to wait for that perfect moment of confluence and then trusting that this complementary system will filter out all the market noise, even if it means you end up taking fewer but much higher quality trades. So look, the goal of this whole thing isn't to give you some holy grail system that never fails. It's to give you a solid framework for building your own unique analytical edge in the market. At the end of the day, your indicator setup is a tool that is designed by you, for you. It's got to match your trading style, your risk tolerance, and the markets you like to trade. By customizing your tools like this, you go from being a passive chart watcher to an active, confident decision maker who actually has a clear plan. And that just about wraps it up. The process of building and refining your own system, that's what really separates consistently profitable traders from everyone else. So now I'm curious. What indicators make up your personal team? Drop your favorite combinations in the comments below. We'd really love to hear from you.